Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL Don't Panic. I'm going to make this a quick one. Obviously starting to get a clearer picture of things at the moment. We've had the Carabao Cup matches, semi-finals, so we know now who's blanking in 29. So just want to give some thoughts on that as we sort of try and work out what we're going to do as the picture starts to become at least a little bit clearer. So we don't have the whole picture. So the things you need to consider, we have a blank in 29. Now, depending on how you set up, with how many players you've got from the likes of Liverpool, Palace, Newcastle, etc., Villa, very, very much influence whether you're going to free hit or whether you're going to try and manage through with transfers. Now, my strong advice is try and get through it with transfers, because what we also know now with reasonable confidence is we're going to have doubles in 33. The only people we know teams we know that are definitely in there at the moment will be Newcastle and Palace, and then we're going to have an absolutely massive blank in 34. But we don't know who is going to be blanking, but it could be as many as 5, 6, 7 teams. We don't know, but we need to just, yes, hang on to your free hit. If you're lucky enough to have one, I do not, but I have a plan to work through it as best I can. Yeah, hang on to it. Try and get through that 29 without free hitting if you can. So that was a quick preamble. I'm going to probably kick off. We'll just have a little quick look. Obviously, this game week's not over at the moment. 85 points. Take the 10 off there. So this is just off as the straightforward, standard, without the double been played yet. But take the slots 10 off there. 75. Actually, I'm not overly unhappy with that. My objective, as most of you know by now, is to try and hit an average of 70 points. So that means that that the team that went out got over 70 points. Therefore, can't actually be unhappy. But I knew it was going to be a tough week, given obviously the triple captainers coming in, and I think the assistant managers helped a little bit with that. But obviously, Salah going off, and obviously, whether you call it a mistake or not, taking Wood out to so that I brought in the budget for Mbemo, etc. Obviously, it was a mistake, but it was a well thought out mistake. That's all I can say. Look at the team. I'm not actually, not too unhappy. Hopefully, Trent's all right for the Everton match, and I guess the best I can hope for. I've got the slot as the assistant manager. So I don't know, a 1-0 Liverpool win. Pickford saves 3 penalties. Trent gets the goal, and I don't know, take me from the triple captain. Salah sent off in the 80th minute for inappropriate conduct with a camel escape from Liverpool Zoo. I don't know. It's just anything and everything could happen, and I've just got to keep my fingers crossed. But at the moment, I can't actually be too unhappy given the way the game has gone on. What I am happy with, though, I guess, is how the Carabao Cup matches have turned out now. You just take any little bit of advantage that you can get. So what I'll do is I'm just going to go to FPL Hub. That's probably the main thing I want to talk about just in this video today. And I'm not going to go into in depth because there's still so much going to happen. 25. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with how I'm set up for 25 at the moment, provided Trent and Watkins, and the soundings seem to be reasonably positive that they should be okay by game week 25. There's still a fair bit of time to go before we get to 25, so fingers crossed they're okay, because then I've got I'll keep the managers, the assistant managers on slot. 2 good figures. Just it's a safe bet, but it saves me a transfer. I've got Trent, I've got Watkins, I've got Salah, I've got Konza, so that's not actually too bad going into that, and I certainly wouldn't be looking to bring in anyone else, because I need all of my transfers, not just to get to 29, I want to be able to roll a couple of transfers, then going post 29 to help me make sure I've got 5 or more transfers, which I would have if I only used 3, which I'm hoping to actually do is actually only use 3 transfers between now and 29. So I'll actually go to 29 just so you can sort of see how that sort of shapes up. If I made no transfers, I get to 29. You can see there, I would go with Hall, Salah and Isak. On the bench, people are already selling Isak. Don't sell Isak. I don't get that one. I know some people out there are. There's even a few of the other the content providers that have been going a lot longer and a lot more experienced than me selling Isak. I just don't get it. Newcastle will be doubling in 33. Isak, he took Liverpool apart. I know he didn't score in that Carabao Cup match. Sorry, he took Arsenal apart. He was just magnificent. You know, so, if it's me, yeah, I would not be selling Isak. And I was going to be selling Hall, but given now that we know who's going to be, well, we don't know that Newcastle will be blanking 33, I think there's more advantage to me to hanging on to him, hanging on to that transfer and using him up till game week 29 as and when appropriate, and that would be my bench, which just leaves me, I'll have 5 transfers. Now whether I use some of them early or whether I use all of the 3 of them when I get to this point to game week 29, that just leaves me with Trent, Konza and Watkins that would need clearing out. Now I may need to use 4. I'd have 5 transfers to get to this point. Now I may need to use 4. It very much depends whether I get enough money, because it's going to be tight, because the price changes are killing me, to be honest with you. I'm already, every time I look at this, it's becoming harder and harder to reach. I have moved away from the idea of doing the Foden and Haaland thing, because I think actually saving some transfers, and City are still an uncertain entity. I do believe I will want a Foden or a Haaland when we get to this point, to 29, but it's a situation currently being monitored. But the important thing is that I could, if needs be, get away with just 3 transfers, leaving me 2 transfers rolling past 29 as we move towards that blank 34. And as the picture becomes clearer after 30, then I'll be able to use a couple of transfers, and then I will actually have 5 transfers as we hit blank 33, and sorry, big double 33, massive blank 34 to navigate through that. So I'd have a decent amount of transfers, and I would also have my wild card. So my feeling is probably 5 transfers going in to the double, and then wild card out of it to get the team set up that I really want to run out to the season. We may, not confirmed, and there's differing opinions on it, maybe a small double in 36, but a couple of transfers should hopefully be able to navigate through that reasonably easily. So yeah, so if the transfers I'd be likely to make, you know, Trent I think out for a Hoyson at some point in between now and 29. Konza would probably just be, you know, just a nice little 4.2, 4.3 defender, or depending on the money I need, could be stripped down just to pure bench. Don't know. Well, no, there's a few options there. 4.2, 4.3. There's a few reasonable options still in that price range. I was full of Castagna. Someone like that in that sort of ilk that, you know, has a bit of form, has a reasonable fixture, and is at the right price point. And then the big one obviously would be Watkins. Can I turn Watkins into Haaland in one move? I don't think I can, but I could quite comfortably turn him into a decent attacking option, maybe a Wizard or someone of that ilk. Wizard would probably be the favourite, I think. That would allow me then to turn Ahmad into Foden. That would take 4 transfers to do that. I think I'm going to struggle to get to Haaland without using all 5 transfers. I don't think I want to use all 5 transfers. I think I need to have at least 1 coming out of this into 30, ideally 2 that I can then use as that 33 double becomes clear, and then use the rest of the transfers to really maximise on that double, and then wild card out of it in 34. Actually, I'm not even sure if that works. Bags. And I have to put I think that might be the other way around actually. But transfers, wild card, navigate it, but make sure I've got the team I want then going forward, not just trying to do the. No, you know what? The more I think about this, it might be actually just navigate 30. Hope to get lucky with 33. Transfers in 34. soccer at 35.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's not going to be easy. Yeah. This is the pain you suffer when you have a flawed chip strategy right at the beginning of the season. That seemed like a good idea at the time, but it absolutely wasn't. However, lessons learned for next season. Lessons learned for next season. So that's sort of just giving you a feel. I'm actually feeling very, very comfortable, certainly up to 29. And it's 30. I've just got to make sure I've got those transfers up my sleeve, and then look at the projections on the fixtures as they go forward.
Yeah, so
that's kind of it. I'm kind of going to leave it on that one. I just wanted to sort of just do a little bit of quick update. We're looking good on 25. The one transfer I am really tempted to make, and that would be to turn Ahmad into Cliver and double up on Bournemouth. I'm not interested in bringing another Villa asset. That just creates another transfer for later on. So I know Ahmad isn't affected by the blank, and I know obviously he's not doubling. But I really like Clivert. I wanted to buy him last year, and but his minutes were risk, but he kept returning. Went through a period where he just kept returning, coming off the bench for 15-20 minutes. But his minutes are assured at the moment. He's on penalties. Bournemouth are looking really good. That's a really good run of fixtures. So that would be the only thing I am tempted by. Would be to bring in Clivert, and that still does leave me enough transfers when I get to 29 to do the tweaks, you know, towards making sure I've got a full 11 going out on decent fixtures, and then coming out to 30 still with some decent fixtures and with the transfer to building as we navigate the 33 big double, 34 big blanks.
That's it for now,
folks.
Have fun. Play your own game. Don't panic.
I'll see you after the FA Cup matches, as we all know, you make these plans and then it just takes one thing. Salah gets injured or something, and it's like boom, gone.
Talk soon. Bye bye.